Ho ho ho, and welcome to the Christmas edition of Manchester Madventures, where we're going to tell you today how you can get 10 gifts for the bushcrafter or adventurer in your life for under £10 each. So keep watching and let's go. Well, as much as I'd like to keep the Santa vibe up, I'm going to be doing a few reviews here with you and showing you what we've got, and it's way too hot for that. So until this guy's dropping down the chimney, I'll give him his uniform back. Cheers, Santa. All right, to the business in hand. Cost of living's pinching at the moment, as we know, and there's not a lot of money in the pot. So I've been looking around in some of the gear that I've got and some of the gear that you can still get for under £10 as a stocking filler or as a gift for the adventurer, bushcrafter, camper in your life. So without any further ado, let's look at the first one. Right, so first up, a titanium camping mug. This one doesn't have a brand on it. I think the one that I found online does. It's called Wide Sea or something similar to that. They're all quite the same. It's basically a mug. It's got two folding wing handles so that you can put it in a side pocket or your rucksack. You can also put a water bottle inside. This one has a capacity of 350 millilitres, which is about standard for an average mug of coffee, and it weighs 45 grams. Not much else to say about it, but this is about £8.50 that I've seen it for. That's with free delivery. The good thing about titanium I found as well, if you've got a stainless steel mug and it's full of hot liquid, you tend to burn your lips when you're drinking from it. Now, I don't know whether it's the design of the mug or the material itself, but I don't think that you get that as much with titanium. Like, I haven't got any gaffer tape around here, which was the old squaddy way, and some people have silicone clip-on things that you can get now, but I've honestly never had a problem with it. Great thing about titanium too, you can put it on a campfire, you can put it over your stove. They're quite bomb-proof. I mean, you won't want to drop it down a mountain, but for normal everyday use, you'll buy it once and that'll do you for the rest of your camping life or adventure life. So, £8.50 titanium mug. Let's get on to the next. Number 2 on the list is this. Now, believe it or not, this is a camping stove. It's made by a company called LIXADA. The stove itself is like a pressed aluminium, and the windshield that you put together is made of stainless steel. This weighs about 20 grams tops. It's literally feather light. So let's have a look inside. The lid comes off. It's got a lovely little seal in there so you can seal your meths in. This has got meths in. I put some in before. And you've got this lovely little windshield which is made of stainless steel, and it simply just clicks together like that. Oops, wrong way. There we go. In rather than outy. There we go. That's it. And that sits over the top, and it's literally that simple. Nothing to go wrong, no moving parts, nothing to service. Let's light her up. The reason she's on this piece of wood rather than the table is quite obvious. These get warm, and I'm sure Julie wouldn't like me to put rings and stuff all over the table. So I've just got it on here for now for demonstration purposes. Let's see how she performs. Straight in. Right, I'll come back to you in a few seconds when she blooms up. Okay, it's took less than a minute and she's actually really doing well. Bloomed up really quickly. It's giving out a nice flame. Let's see how stable she is. This is my cup I use a lot. It's like a USGI cup with a lid, and it fits lovely on there. No wobble. It's burning with a lovely, lovely steady flame. Very happy with that. Now that's very successful. One thing I have noticed, however, is that the 300ml titanium cup that we've just talked about doesn't fit. It just goes literally inside the windshield, which isn't good. However, there's an easy fix. So you get one tent peg, put it across there, and there you go. Whoops, where are we? And it will fit quite nicely, whoops, on the top. And it works that way. So we always have a spare tent peg on us, so that doesn't seem to be much of a problem. But for £2.89, I think this is a no-brainer. If you're out camping, if you're just going for a brew somewhere and you want it in your day bag, you could fill it up before you go and there'll be enough in there to make a brew. LIXADA knocked it out of the park. Great stocking filler, well worth having in my opinion. And finally, when it comes time to put it out, just simply pop off your windshield, grab your lid, and pop it over the top. Give it a couple of seconds, and there you go. Leave it to cool down, about 2 or 3 minutes, pack it up, and you're on your way. In conclusion, less than £3, absolute winner in my book. Let's get on to the next one. Now we're going to look at lighting. Now I came across this little gem. They're really retro looking, quite cute actually, like an old style oil lamp, but they are a rechargeable USB camping lamp. They're USB-C that can be accessed from the back there. They have a little rubber bungee thing that you can hang it up by. They have a protective cage around them, and I've had this out in full like downpours and it doesn't get any water in, which is always a bonus. It has about 4 modes, I think. You've got like these, they're almost like the Edison light tubes, quite a soft light. Then you go dimmer, which is a softer light still, which this is lovely around camp. I like it on that setting. And then if you press the 3rd time, you have some LEDs that are around the top that give a whiter light, and they go dimmer as well. And then I think the 5th time, everything all at once. So this is a quite a bright light, and you can see when I hang it above me, you get plenty of downwards light. So they're great up high, and they last quite long. If you left them on all night, they'd probably, you know, just run out. But for a couple of hours, they're quite good. £5.69 delivered. So again, great item. I've got a couple of these. Some friends have bought them. I bought one for one of my friends who's in the military. Well, she gave me the money and I bought it for her. And yeah, everybody that I know that's got them loves them. They have a little green light on the front that tells you it's in good charge. When you're actually charging it, that goes red and turns green again once it's fully charged. So off we go. Great little item for less than £6. Onwards and upwards, a blow poker. For those in the bushcraft community, campers, adventure motorcyclists, when you want to make a fire and it's just not going, these are brilliant. This one was about £4. You can get them between £1.20 and about £6. But if you look up pocket bellows, I'll put a link to one. You'll find them all over the internet. They're on Amazon, they're on the Chinese sites. And basically all it is a modified car aerial. So it comes out and it allows you to get closer to the fire so you can blow the oxygen in. When you're done, it collapses all up and goes in your pack. This one's a bit of a posh one. I think Julie got it me. It's got a paracord lanyard, it's got a little leather piece around it and a lovely turned handle. You don't have to have that. There's some that are just stainless steel. They do exactly the same job. So for anything between £2 and £6, great stocking filler. Now, who doesn't like a cute little kettle? Look at this, tiny. It will take about 600 ml of fluid, 600-700 ml. So 2 of those titanium cups it will fill, but certainly no more. But this is a little beaut. It's, I mean, I got the green because Bushcraft and all that, but you can get them in black, you can get them in silver. And they're just a great little thing. They're well made. They've got a click up handle so it keeps it out of the way when it's on the fire or on the stove. A lovely little pouring spout, and £8. You know, well worth it. Some of these prices may rise, some of the prices may go down. It's Black Friday week at the time of this video going live, so you may get it cheaper, but around £8 is what I paid for this. Again, if you're going on some of the Chinese sites, if you spend more than £8, you get free shipping. So if you're thinking of getting one of the other things, the cheaper things, get one of these or something over £8, and that takes your shipping right down. Again, lovely finish, quite lightweight, easy packable. I'm a real fan of this. I know what you're thinking. UCO candle lantern under £10, not going to happen. And you're right. Lots of us have these. They're great little lanterns. They're quite expensive, and even more so are the candles. The candles can be really expensive, like £12-15 for a pack of 3, depending which ones you get. You can get like citronella ones, you can get beeswax, stuff like that, but the candles are like prohibitively expensive. However, again, online, I found a little gift that will turn this into something quite inexpensive to run. And this is it. It's a small paraffin lantern. It's got 2 little caps. One cap comes off and exposes the wick, and the other cap allows you access to the paraffin reservoir inside. And what I've found is they fit great into one of these. So let's put it in, have a look. So what we do is we screw off the base, leave that to the side, and screw out the candle holder. And inside you see they all have this spring that kind of keeps it all together. And what we do is we take the lid off this and we pop it up inside there, and then screw your lid back on. Put your spring back in, screw your lid back on. Now we have it. And pop it back in the lantern. Done. And it's as simple as that. So pull the glass down and let's light her up. And there you have it. So a cheap way of using your UCO candle lantern on paraffin. Of course, you can move the wick up and down for bigger, smaller flame or bigger flame. I like it. Well, it might actually be running out of paraffin, but I like it round about 1 inch tall. It gives out nice heat, and it costs pennies to run. So I'll put a link in the description to these as well. So if you know somebody that's got a UCO candle lantern and they don't want to be paying crazy money for the candles, you can get a little paraffin one. Now, if you have a alcohol stove or a paraffin lantern, things that need filling up, I've found that these kind of fuel bottles are really good. Now, this one's made by Trangia, and they are quite expensive. They're between £16 and £20, which for a small plastic bottle is a lot of money, but they are made quite tough. They have an anti-spill lid on them, so when you press it like that, nothing can come out. However, if you do unscrew this, you then get the pressing action where you can pour stuff under control out of one of the two nozzles either side. Great idea. Now I tried to find one of these for under £10 and I have. It's going to be in the link. I haven't got one, so I can't sort of do a physical review on it, but to all intents and purposes it looks exactly the same as this. So I'll put a link in the description to that one. There's going to be a photo up here of it, so you'll find that it's in there, and that's just under £9. So again, you can find these things, you just got to do a bit of looking. And if you know anybody that uses alcohol fuels or paraffin or kerosene, it's a really nice and safe and easy way to store it. On to the home run. And it wouldn't be a bushcraft or adventure motorcycling or camping video without a knife, would it? As we all know, knives are tools, they're not weapons. And we have trouble in the UK obtaining them now. There's so many laws and legislations about obtaining any kind of knife. It's getting crazy. But however, we can get them. You have to go through a couple of hoops, and there's some great camping knives out there. Under £10, at just under £7 at the moment, I can't find anything better than the OPINEL No8. This is a classic French farmer's knife. Every Frenchman, usually, even up to this day, carries one in the pocket. They're useful, the steel's good, and they have a small locking mechanism that means you can lock them shut and you can lock them open so that they don't trap your fingers. However, one of the caveats to that is because it does lock open, it's not legal carry in the UK. So you can't carry it every day like people all over the world do. But the knife laws in the UK also have a caveat that if you're doing camping and stuff like that, you need to do it like a forester carries a chainsaw. You wouldn't carry one into your local bar. However, if you've got a job to do, or if you're out and it's part of your camping gear, we do carry knives, we carry axes, we carry saws. It's all part of the tools that we use, and we must stress that they are tools. So the OPINEL No8, it's around a 3-inch long handle, same on the blade. This one I've got is a carbon steel. I recommend the carbon steel. They do take a little bit more looking after than the stainless. You've got to oil the blades, give them a polish up, sharpen them every now and again. But the edge retention is phenomenal. I've slightly modded this. They come quite angular, and all I've done is I've just sanded off the back, rounded it off, and put a little leather thong in so I can tie it onto a little piece of cord to my belt or something should I be going out into the wilderness, because I don't want to lose it. Another great use for these is they have a 90-degree flat spine, and without opening it, they're great to throw sparks off a ferro rod. So OPINEL No8, all in all, great knife, easy carry, thumbs up. Nearly there, guys. This little monkey, little red box with a grey top, is the Life Venture Stormproof match kit. I use these a lot. I use them in the Arctic, I use them canoeing, I use them bushcrafting, camping, and the thing I like most about them is the case. The matches are great. They work a lot better than the British Army ones or some other ones I've seen, but this case has been everywhere. It's been through the wars. You can't really see it on camera, but it's really quite scratched up. But with cold hands, it's easy to undo. It carries a load of matches. There's a striker inside that's waterproof, as you can see around the edge there, and there's a huge striker on the bottom. So once it's all tightened up, you've got another one there. It just works. So this is usually clipped somewhere on my gear, especially when I'm out in the Arctic, because as you get cold, you lose dexterity, and even if your fingers don't work, you can kind of undo it because it's big and chunky. I've seen these brass match cases and sort of like little tiny plastic ones. They're not great. These ones from, sorry, not Life Venture, Life Systems. So these Life Systems Stormproof lifeboat matches I absolutely rate. not the cheapest. These two are going at about £10. £9.99 is the cheapest I can find them, but they're worth it. And if you are an adventurer and you just want to bury this to the bottom of your pack, don't matter if you fall in a river, doesn't matter if you fall out of your canoe, they're going to stay dry and they're going to be useful and still working when all else is failing. So I heartily recommend them. For a tenner, great little stocking filler. They come in like a nice sort of blister pack or cardboard box, really quite nice. This cable affair and the carabiner I put on, the carabiners are from Alpkit. Again, if you go onto Alpkit, you can probably get these, about 10 of these for about £10. So that's a bonus one for you. So Life Systems lifeboat matches, big thumbs up. On to the last one. Okay, so last but by no means least, we have a inflator pump. They come in many different guises, many different names. This is a small one, it's by Flextail, and these can be picked up for under £10. In all of the kits, you usually get a charging cable. This is USB-C. You get all the different nozzles so that you can pump up anything from your self-inflating mats like your Thermarest and your big Agnes, things like that, to beach balls, pump up furniture. You can even use them to put oxygen into your fire as long as you keep it far enough away. So there's loads of different attachments. These fit the different types of nozzles on different airbeds and different things. The pump itself, you give it 2 quick clicks and off it goes. As you can see, quite strong. Blow things around. It's got an intake and an output. So the intake is great when you want to pack everything away and you want to get all the air out of your inflatable item like your airbed or mattress. So it sucks it like almost one of these vacuum bags, makes it really tiny to put away. And also on the other side, of course, that's for pumping it up. A lot of these as well come with another feature. So if you press and hold the button, you end up with a nice little tent light. So 3 different settings, low, medium and high. Gives you plenty of light in your tent, and that means that you're carrying one item to do 2 jobs. So it's always better when you've got one item to 2 jobs. It wouldn't pump up a motorcycle tyre or a bike tyre. I don't think it's got the pressure for that, but for everything else it's really good. So that brings us to the end of our 10 items for under £10 for Christmas in the UK this 2025. Obviously the prices of these items, all of the 10 items under £10, are in the UK. I've researched it for the UK, but if you do live abroad in the Americas, perhaps Europe, I'm sure if you take an image search and find some of the stuff online, you can then find it for quite a reasonable price. So that's it from us at Manchester Madventures. Have a wonderful Christmas, wonderful New Year. There's probably going to be a Christmas camp coming up, so like, subscribe, hit the bell button so that you get notifications, and we'll see you all on the next one. Have a great holidays.